Record is just hitting this. So we're starting. That's recording now. Okay? All right. Yeah. Yeah, so 51:50, it's countdown. All right, guys. So listen, let's have some fun here. Let's talk about effective telemarketing and what you guys should be doing on the phone. When I talk about this, as I said before, I talk about what I call a structure. Whether you do it this way, I don't really care. But what I like to do is show you guys what I've used that I would consider to be structured. That the more I repeat it, the better off I get, right? When you guys go hit the phones, I don't really care that it does this, that you do it this way, but that at the end of the day, we're going to talk more this morning about what I call the little things that make the big difference, right? So, I want to start with just talking about effective telemarketing, right? And I hope you guys can take out paper, take notes. I don't, you guys write it down, what gets written gets done. Okay, effective telemarketing. So let's just throw out some bullet points. Effective telemarketing. What comes to mind?
Lots of activity.
Okay, so
Feedback on a call.
lots of activity. Can you be more specific with this one?
More than 10 or 15 calls a day. You get up to
The more you dial.
the more you dial, the more people you're going to talk to.
Okay, so if I was to talk about effective telemarketing and making lots of dials, you guys know the old, about goal setting, right? What's the difference in just saying we want to get to the moon or setting a goal to get to the moon?
Something
Keeping track of how many calls you're making, keeping track of your activity.
So again, I think it starts with these kind of little things. I think that if this morning, if you guys were really going to effectively telemarket, for example, I know Greg just told you guys, get out there and make lots of calls, right? We could do that. And I call that winging it. But when we give you guys those sheets, and that sheet has a goal, right? And that goal is then quantified, is there a difference in saying I want to make lots of calls or I want to make 25 calls today? Is there a difference?
Yes.
There's a huge difference. So it starts with really a goal. And, again, when I talk about this stuff today and when I ask you to write it down is we've got to stop winging it. We've got to stop just going to our desks and saying, Greg told me to make calls, so I got to make calls today. If you're going to effectively telemarket, you have to have a goal and it has to be specific. So if I said specific to lots of activity, what am I talking about?
Number.
Okay, so the number of calls. What else?
Goal for appointments.
Okay, awesome. Number of appointments set. What else? I'm not going to stop making a call until I blank.
talk to decision makers.
Talk to a certain amount of decision makers. What else? Can you think of anything else? Okay, so let's get away from that, okay? One of the most important things with doing anything that you expect a result of success, you have to have a plan. It has to be written. It has to be attainable. It has to be something that you're committed to, right? You can't just say, I'm going to go make lots of calls. You can do that, but I know what's going to happen. You guys know what's going to happen, right? You're going to start making a couple calls, and all of a sudden, shit, I got to work on that proposal. Oh, damn it, I just picked up the phone, and it's that guy I've been waiting for, so I got to stop what I'm doing to go work on that RFP or whatever, right? Okay, so having a goal. What else? Effective telemarketing. When you guys are at your best and telemarketing at your best, what are the little things that you guys are doing that's causing that makes you successful?
Just making sure that you're comfortable, like you got your pad here for notes, you got your calendar here.
Scrub the list.
Yeah, your list
be
is
organized.
that you can that you don't have to stop for a minute here and there to change it. You got your headset on, and you got everything kind of like that.
Be organized.
Be organized. Okay, this is all organization. Okay, so you guys know I'm a huge. When people ask me what I think the number one most important thing, or what's the number one objective of picking up that phone is to what? Set an appointment. So people always say that. When I interview people, I say, what's your objective of using the phone? They say to set an appointment. Okay, I'd ask you, can you be more specific? Really, again, we want to get down to the little things that mean a lot. Setting an appointment for what?
Just to introduce Pelican Pacific and talk about our services, and at the end of the day, close the deal. I mean, make this out.
Okay, when I'm talking about the appointment, I'm talking about a specific date, a specific date and time that I get into their calendar, right? If I schedule an appointment with you, Jason, if I say tomorrow, I want to go hit doors with you, what kind of response do I need from you?
I need to check my calendar and see what time I have available.
Yeah, what time what date and time? You cannot, again, these decision makers that you're calling are very busy people. They want you to get to the point and get to the point quickly. That's what this script does. Okay? You've got to get them on the phone. You've got to give them a reason to sit down with you. So, effective telemarketing, right? Has anybody said that you have to have a very strong IBS? You guys know what an IBS is? An initial benefit statement. What is your benefit statement? Okay? And I'd ask you guys, as we start doing this, you're going to say a benefit statement. And I'm going to ask that you guys, maybe take a second and write it down. But a benefit statement up there to the top right should focus on a few things. What does that say up there, Caesar?
Save time, money, or increase productivity.
Okay, so you got to be able to save time, money, or increase productivity. Caesar, you're going to need to read that board. Are you going to be able to read that board? Do you need to go get your glasses?
No.
Okay, so save time, save money, or increase productivity. It has to be relative to those things. You get a decision maker on the line, and you want to take their time. You got to give a reason. Think about. I always say, put yourself in their position. Look, if I need to set an appointment, if somebody calls and asks for your time, they better have a good reason, a good enough reason. And, sometimes saving money, who cares? That's really not a whole lot of what's going to get you appointments. To me, what do you think are, nowadays, what are the most important things that's on the mind of a decision maker about what we do? What is it?
Solutions, security,
Okay.
productivity, cloud.
I'm asking you guys to write this down. Security, cloud, what else? Increasing their bandwidth.
Lowering their overhead for capital expenses.
Lower cost.
One bill and provider.
One bill.
Platform.
Let's think a little more consultative. What else should we be consulting these people on? It's part of the 3 C's.
Continuity.
Okay? What else?
Platform for future growth and scalability and
Scale. Grow. So secure. This to me, guys, we have to, change this up a little bit. Cloud is continuity, disaster recovery, DR. What's your DR plan, right? I mean, this is talking about data center. And and things like where do you currently house your equipment and stuff like that. I mean, we're not selling on the phone, but we want to talk about that kind of stuff. Do you ever have concerns? I mean, Jason, we went into that huge call center for the mortgage company or whatever it was, right? And we went through the break room, and I think the door was open to their data center.
Yeah, it's right there.
Right? I mean, what are those guys susceptible to? Right? How do they make sure that equipment is secure and things of that nature? Right? So these are the benefit statements. You have to have a strong benefit statement very quickly. That's what we're going to get into here. Okay? So any other of the little things? There's a couple of things that I always think of. Right? Somebody talked about the list. All right? Let's talk about the list a little bit. What does an effective list look like?
decision maker's name of the company, phone number,
Provider.
to a CO, provider,
current provider, right? Does your list have, is the list you're calling on, is it a list that you called on last Friday and here it is Monday, and I got to attack that list again, and I have my notes of the people I left messages to so that I can call them back today and say, hey, I left you a message on Friday, I'm following up on Monday, right? Or I left a message 2 Fridays ago on the 14th and I'm calling, right? You have to, if you want to get an appointment with me, and think about it, if you want to get an appointment with you, how many times does somebody have to reach, how many times does a buddy have to reach out to you guys to get you to go golf or get you to go, go out for some beers or watch football on Sunday? How many times does a friend usually have to reach out to you?
2 or 3 times at least.
Okay, that's something you want to do, You've got to reach out to these people. I mean, one thing that really pisses me off is that I'll say to somebody, have you called the credit unions? And somebody will say, yeah, I called them all. Called them all? Define that for me. I dialed the number and I called it, right? That's not the way we play this game. And that's why, somebody else comes in the back door and ends up closing that deal because have all, just show of hands, have you all had a time when you close something, you called on something and then you found out 1 month, 3 months, 6 months later that somebody else closed it? Does that ever happen? Okay. That's because we're not effectively calling these companies and following up. When I went through that exercise on Friday and I assigned you those publicly traded companies and those fastest growing, you have to take the passion that I am assigned to this account, and I don't care whether it's today, a week, a month, or a year from today. I am going to set an appointment with that person. That's the confidence, the aura, just what's the word I call it? The conviction that you have to have to say, I am going to get an appointment with you whether you like it or not, right? So these are the little things that mean a lot. This list has to be solid. It's a living, breathing document that you should be calling. When I say, hey, come in and bring your list, that list should look like something that is your business. That list, I call it, whether it's that 50 wish list. If you really don't have a 50 wish list and you have a whole state of California to put wishes on, you guys should think about that. You could put any company in the state of California, Nevada, and Texas on that wish list and just make it a point and a goal to say, I am going to do business with that company whether they like it or not. Does that make sense? That's better, effective telemarketing. I would also say that list, it is a vertical of some sort. That's why I'm such a big proponent of the business journal. Because when you do the business journal, you find out 2 or 3 companies in that vertical that already do business with us, right? And that's the old Nicole Foligno. When she would sign up, say, Wynn Casinos, when she was prospecting Wynn, she'd say, I'm calling up because I want to talk to you about Bally's International. Would you give me a call? And she said she was very successful with that because Wynn would call up and say, what are you doing with Bally's? Oh, well, that's why I'm calling to set an appointment with you, right? But I was saying, I am the expert in. I am the pharmaceutical rep. I am the credit union rep. You have to assign yourself to those verticals. You sound better. You get this decision maker on the line, you have a second to knock his socks off. You have a second to appeal to their business sets to give them a reason to give you their time. And their time is very valuable. It has to be sharp and precise, right? So, I'd ask you as we go through this, I'm going to ask you guys to give your benefit statement. I don't care. It should be something around the 3 C's. As a company, we've made this real simple. Cloud, connectivity, continuity, right? It's one of those 3 things. Connectivity, well, what does that mean? Well, that's exactly what I want to sit down and talk to you about. Continuity, what does that mean? Let me come in and show you how we helped out ABC, XYZ, and 1, 2, 3, right? So, that again, when you're having that benefit statement, right, and you want to be at your best, do you always call and reference third parties? What do I mean by referencing third parties?
Yes.
What?
Reference other, maybe I'm thinking something else. I reference other businesses that they would know that I work with.
Absolutely. Okay? If you don't know that, please write it down. I don't ever want to ask you guys again, when I say reference a third party, and you're like, I don't know what you mean by that. So, Luca, what do I mean by that?
Company that familiar with it, company we work with it, so we can make a point of real reason for them, so they feel confident about it.
Yeah, I helped out ABC, XYZ, and 1, 2, 3, and I want to see if I can help you out the same way. If you're making calls today and you don't have referenceable accounts, you are making the job tougher than it is. And your statistics are going to be lower. All I'm talking about, the little things are what I call increasing the probability of getting the sale when you get that decision maker on. Don't make this job harder than it is. How many golfers are here? Play golf? Okay.
Play crappy on Saturday.
Yeah. So, have you ever heard the expression, I make this game harder than it actually is? It's the same thing. And it's really with all sports. Why make life tougher? But I'm telling you right now, you guys are really good at winging it. Really good. And you'll make 80 grand here winging it. Is that the money you want to make here? So you have to take this stuff seriously, man. You gotta, when you go in that gym, when you step on that field, you gotta be as sharp as you possibly can. And I'm begging you guys, I've been doing this for a long time. It's these little things that make the big difference. So what's another little thing that you guys, I'm hinting at it right now. What is a little thing that means a lot in telemarketing?
Tone.
You already know the answer to that. Okay. Yeah, it's voice inflection, right? Please write this down. Voice inflection is extremely important. This is why I say, hey man, if you guys got to go lock yourself in an office and make calls, go do it. Because I'm telling you right now, you're working too hard to get the decision maker on the line to do this. Hi, yeah, I was wondering if it's at all possible. Just curious. I mean, I'm sure you're really busy, but I was wondering if just there might be a slightest chance, maybe next week. Do you have any time? You guys start doing that, you're dead. Okay? You got to have some fun, some excitement. You got to pull these people with you. Voice inflection is really important. That's why recording yourself is important, right?
Grant Cardone said the most important thing is voice inflection and tone on the phone.
Voice inflection and tone. Okay? Voice inflection and tone. I totally agree with that. You want to increase the probability? Make it sound like you're calling one of your best friends. It's New Year's Eve, and you got tickets to the hottest party in town, right? And you're inviting them to go to that party. That's how you have to approach these guys. You get a decision maker on the line, and you say a lot of ums and ifs and and I was just wondering if you become passive versus what do I call words of conviction? Tell me a word okay, words of conviction. Sorry, Bobby. What are they?
Need to, got to, have to.
Need to. You got to speak with me. You have to take a look at this. You should be looking at this because I'll tell you right now, ABC, XYZ, 1, 2, 3 took a look at it, and now they're running their business much better than they did before. However you want to phrase it, right? Words of conviction have to. Let me show you something that's going to knock your socks off. It'll take a few minutes. You got to take a look at this. It's the latest, greatest hosted IP Centrex product that's out there on the market. It's a ton of fun for me to tell people about it. It'll be the last phone system you ever have to take a look at. Let me come by next Tuesday and show you what I'm talking about. Will you be in the office Tuesday the 25th at 10 a.m., right? So let's talk about closing for the date and time, okay? I just gave you an example. What are the little things that mean a lot when you're closing?
Date and time.
Specific date and time. What else? If I say Tuesday the 25th, I'm not in the office. What do I got to be able to do?
I'll put it another date real quick.
What are you not? Thursday?
You better be, that's why having, okay, you guys all know that this is a requirement of the job here, right? I mean, and I'm asking you this. Albert, maybe you haven't had enough time or somebody hasn't told you, but does everybody own this? I know it's the remedial, dummied down calendar. I know people live in an electronic world. They don't think this is important. I'm telling you right now, please, if it's one thing you take from me, just do this. These are cool. I have these from 1998, 99 to 2015. It's really cool, man, because when you're doing your taxes and you want to go back in time, what was I doing a few years ago? It's all right here. And I have back pages of notes and things like that. But you have to have, for lack of better words, for me, I call it, this is my idiot-proof calendar that allows me, when somebody says, I'm calling for Tuesday the 24th, and they say, that's not good. Are you kidding me? That's 2 days before the holiday. Are you an idiot? Right? So think about it. If you're making calls today, and if I was to say, again, Luca, what is the number of today? Today is November, what is it?
16.
Okay. Thank you for illustrating my point. Yes. I don't know what day today is. I drove to work, and actually, you want to know what? I thought today was the 17th, and I'll illustrate my point, because I said I counted 8 days from the 17th. 8 and 17 is the 25th. I thought Tuesday was the 25th. I look at my calendar, it's actually the 24th. I don't know what today is. Decision makers don't know what day it is, right? That's why you have to say, I will spend more time talking about the calendar than anything about the 3 C's. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but I want you to really take. I close for a date and a time. When I'm closing for a date and a time, the date and the time is the most important thing I'm talking about, and that's why this is idiot proof. So when they say Thanksgiving, if you guys pick up the phone today, with all due respect, if you are telemarketing today to close a deal this month, do you see how far behind the ball we are? You should be telemarketing today to set up December and next year. Now, sometimes we put ourselves in a position to lose because we did make the calls on Friday, and they say, I'll make it up on Monday, and then all of a sudden Monday comes up, and oh shit, Mike wants me to do this, Greg wants me to do that, I have no time to do this, I'll make up those calls tomorrow, and then I'll make up those calls tomorrow, like getting to the gym. By the way, I haven't been to the gym since I've been back from vacation. I swear to God I'm going tonight. I swear to God I'm going tonight. I hope I didn't just lie.
We're checking on you tomorrow.
I'm going tonight.
10x.
Why haven't I gone? Because there's a lot of other things that are more fun to do than go to the gym, right? I like laying on the couch, Monday Night Football. Why do I have to go to the gym tonight? It's the same thing with making the calls. A lot of things feel better than making those freaking calls. Do you guys agree? Okay? So you have to do this stuff. So when I talk about the calendar, guys, you have to have this out. If you're making calls and this isn't open, if you don't realize that you can maybe say, how about this Thursday the 19th? But if I was making calls, I got somebody on the line. If I got a decision maker for a publicly traded company, which are the companies I'd ask you guys to call, I'm not going to say, how about the week of the 23rd? So when I call, I say, how about the week of the 16th? How about Wednesday the 18th? Will you be in the office Wednesday the 18th at 10 a.m.? That's how much talk in the whole realm of the words that come out of my mouth. I'm telling you right now. And I want you to look, does it sound crazy? I think it sounds a little crazy, to tell the truth. I mean, I think it sounds crazy. You're really going to talk that much about the calendar? Hell yes, I am. I'm going to talk more about that calendar and I'm going to say words like, do you have your calendar out? Because you cannot set an appointment with a decision maker unless you're in their calendar. It just doesn't happen. You have your calendar out? Great. How about you pencil me in Tuesday? Who's not in the office Tuesday at 10 a.m.? You're either off or you're working, So have some fun with that, okay? So there's a lot of these other things. I'm going to talk about overcoming objections. There's books written on overcoming objections, right? I talk about empathy, overcome, and close. Empathy, overcome, and close. It's also known as feel. That's empathy. Felt, right? That's over. I know how you felt. A lot of other people felt the same way. And found. That's the close. What they found was by sitting down with me for just a couple of minutes, I was able to show them how they could, better secure their connections, and also house their equipment in a really cool data center for a couple $100s a month or a few $100s a month, and they don't pay for fire suppression, they don't pay for security, they don't pay to cool those devices, and they have access to them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if their building ever got hit by whatever, they're still going to be up. Does that make sense? Okay? So listen, guys, I want to have some fun with this. I would even say, for fun, if you want to stand up, you want to face that direction, you want to come up and stand next to me. And I would say, Caesar, really, if there's a glare here and you can't see it, come up and stand right next to me. All this exercise is this. I'm going to go, John, please. You're going to just read the red. Who's calling? I'm sorry. Wait. You guys are John, please. You guys are going to say, John, please. I'm the red. Who's calling? You're going to say, Bob Griffin, thanks. What's this regarding? I'm with Telepacific. Thanks. It's the thanks, the little things, that mean a lot. I am telling you, please, I beg you. We are programmed to have two-way conversations. If you listen to yourself converse with somebody, you're not going, hey, Bobby, how was your weekend? Thanks. Oh, you play golf this weekend? Thanks. Right? You don't. You play golf this weekend, and then you're going to converse back with me. And then I'm going to go. This is a call to action. This is ending the conversation and directing this screener, whose only job, the person that answers the phone, their only job is to what?
Block me from getting to the decision maker.
Or that's what they're programmed to do, but then what is their job?
To filter out
that too. But their job, what I'm getting at, their job is to get me to the person that I need to speak to. Their job is to coordinate that call. Okay? but they're programmed to screen you, right? So this is all respectful. Now again, if we want to go for, what's this regarding? You want to be a little tougher on me? I've had the toughest screeners in the world. So I say, what's this regarding? I'm a Telepacific, thanks. Telepacific? What the hell is that?
Well, he'll know.
Yeah, he should know.
Thank you.
Thanks. Right? You got to say that thanks. I'm telling you again, the little things that mean a lot. You want your statistics to go up? Try these tactics. I'm telling you. Okay, so then we'll get to. I'll go. This is John. Guys, I just want you to read this, just to have some fun, just to hit that ball like the coach is telling you. Hey, John, this is Bob Griffin. Listen, and I say that word. I know this sound. This is another one of my crazy things. Words like hey, listen. Because this is how I talk to my friends. This is how I sound a little bit confident, a little bit maybe above that person, The same words like, listen, the reason why I'm calling is to set an appointment with you. Is to set an appointment with you. My company, Telepacific, we help companies like yours with the 3 Cs, or my benefit statement. We help them with cloud, connectivity, continuity. And I want to see if next Tuesday, Tuesday the 26th. I repeat it twice. Tuesday the 26th, 5th. Will you be in Tuesday? I've now said it 3 times at 10 a.m. And then you shut up. Because what's coming? The objection. Yeah, I'm not interested. Or you could even tell me, a screener's going to say, well, he only sees people by appointment. Oh, we don't give out that name. I was making calls the other day, right? Well, we don't give out that name. You know what I do to that person? I hang up and I make the next call. Because I just can't get by it. It doesn't work all the time. Okay? This is to help increase the probability. I'll get a decision maker on the line. The one thing I can guarantee, you guys want to make a $1,000 bet with me? I'll bet you $1,000 if this doesn't work. Because it doesn't work all the time. But what it does is it helps you guys, again, get it right more often than not. Or helps you guys do that. Okay? So Jason, I'm going to start right at the end, buddy. Real simple. Okay? You start. And wait, let me.
Bob, right?
Yeah. No, you're just saying, okay. No. You're asking for John,
Okay,
and
okay.
this is you. You could say this is Jason,
Okay.
right? And also, I want you guys give a little critique here. Think about what he's saying. Give him some feedback. Think if the benefit statement is good. While you're listening to him, you might want to write down a benefit statement. The hardest thing you guys have to do is fill in this blank. Tell me the reason why you want to sit down with him. Okay? So let's have some fun with it.
Okay.
So let's spar a little.
All right.